Like Pac said, Pac said, you want us to have protection, but you're not protecting us from our next door neighbors. You know what I mean? Like that's where the trouble is. Our next door neighbor. It don't have to necessarily be around the block.
It's your girl Stacey Cake, your host for What's Hot, and today I am here with Aaron.
Hey, what's up?
So who is Aaron?
Well, Aaron is a singer-songwriter from Baltimore. I've been doing this for quite a while, releasing independent music. Like I said, I'm a native from Baltimore. Went to school here. I graduated from high school in Baltimore City's public schools. And I had a dream, so I decided I was going to leave Baltimore for a few years and go out to California and pursue my dreams. And during that time, I ended up getting signed to Motown. And I did a Motown deal, and things didn't necessarily go the way that I wanted them to. So I ended up coming back home, starting an independent label, and releasing independent music. Ended up getting featured in 3 national magazines, Billboard, Recording Magazine, Urban Network, and that brings me to right now.
So now you can talk about your most recent single, Show 'Em Some Love.
Yeah.
Can you talk about that?
Yeah, I'm really excited about it because this particular song is a little different from what I normally do. It's all about really giving back to the people. I feel like as an artist, for many years I've been writing for myself in a sense, writing what I feel, writing from my own relationships or other people's, situations or what have you. But this particular work, it really touches home because it really makes me think about my past. And like I said earlier, growing up in a community where people really cared about one another, today, in any community across the country, black folks live in situations where their neighbor could be a killer, and they have to deal with that, like Pac said, you want us to have protection, but you're not protecting us from our next door neighbors, Like that's where the trouble is, our next door neighbor. It don't have to necessarily be around the block and down the street, So I feel like this particular song is kind of speaking out about what we used to be as a black community and what we are today, and what my vision is, and what I hope everybody's vision should be moving forward.
Okay. So why do you think Baltimore in particular is such a violence-riddled city?
Well, I think it all starts with pain. When people are hurting, and they feel like they have nowhere to go, no one will listen to them. Whether they're kids or adults. If you come from certain areas, it's like you're voiceless. And so these people, I believe, they just need some love. If we could start there, that's why I wrote the song, because I felt like this is my cry, out to people to say, hey, what we're doing is wrong.
Okay, so now you can talk about your most recent single, Show 'Em Some Love.
Yeah.
Can you talk about that?
Yeah, I'm really excited about it because this particular song is a little different from what I normally do. It's all about really giving back to the people. I feel like as an artist, for many years I've been writing for myself in a sense, writing what I feel, writing from my own relationships or other people's, situations or what have you. But this particular work, it really touches home because it really makes me think about my past. And like I said earlier, growing up in a community where people really cared about one another, today, in any community across the country, black folks live in situations where their neighbor could be a killer, and they have to deal with that, like Pac said, you want us to have protection, but you're not protecting us from our next door neighbors, Like that's where the trouble is, our next door neighbor. It don't have to necessarily be around the block and down the street, So I feel like this particular song is kind of speaking out about what we used to be as a black community and what we are today, and what my vision is, and what I hope everybody's vision should be moving forward.
Okay. So why do you think Baltimore in particular is such a violence-riddled city?
Well, I mean, I think it all starts with pain. I mean, when people are hurting, and they feel like they have nowhere to go, no one will listen to them. I mean, whether they're kids or adults. I mean, if you come from certain areas, I mean, it's like you're voiceless. I mean, and so these people, I believe, they just need some love. I mean, if we could start there, I mean, that's why I wrote the song, because I felt like this is my cry, out to people to say, hey, what we're doing is wrong. Because, I mean, think about it. If we stopped killing ourselves, for sure people would take a look at that. They would have no other choice but to really take a look. Hey, something's going on. Something's different is happening here. I mean, so, I'm hoping that, my message and my song will lead to positive change in our community.
A lot of people would kind of argue, though, that I know when police brutality and those type of videos really surfaced, like on social media, and people were kind of saying what you were saying. Oh, we should stop. We need to stop. Black on black crime first before we point fingers at other races or whatever. But a lot of people argued white on white crime occurs and no one says that.
Right.
When a black man kind of attacks a white person, it's still looked at, really harshly by the white race. It's still considered. They still deem it. Oh my gosh, like a black man just killed this innocent white lady or whatever the case may be. But why do you think it is that? Why, in your opinion, why do you think particularly black on black crime needs to be handled first? When in those situations, no one says, "Oh, white on white crime has to be handled."
Well, I mean, they living in an area or world where they don't feel threatened. Like, they say they feel threatened, but I don't really necessarily believe that, because wherever I am, I see a lot of them. I don't see them being threatened. I see people like me and you being threatened. Like, we leave a club or a restaurant, possibility, the chance of us getting robbed or attacked or hurt or murdered, I think it's higher than what what their percentages would be. And so for me, I believe that if we just concentrate on us, all of those other things would take care of themselves. I mean, I feel like police brutality, I mentioned that in my song, that's something that's been going on for hundreds of years. So I feel like like I said once again, if we could learn to police ourselves and have our conduct in perspective, then maybe some of those things would never occur. It's like, I don't want to take sides on that issue, but there has been some issues. Like, even for me, I'll start with me, for instance. I get pulled over by cops all the time, for whatever reason. And I've never been assaulted. I've been, you know how they are. You're going to have some that is just racist and they're going to talk crap to you. But I've never let that get me out of my character to the point where they have to take it to the next level. I want to snatch me out the car. Now, I've had them even put their hands on me, but not hit me, but grab me. And I still remained calm because I knew it was nothing I did wrong. Now, if they would have kept on going, then I probably would have been on television too, or could have been a statistic myself. But I still believe it's about your conduct. Everything is your choices. It's every choice you make. It's everything you do. It's everything that we believe. It's everything that we do. If we believe in ourselves and we have respect for ourselves, that is going to show. That character is going to show to other people. People won't respond to you the same way they do Joe Blow down the street with his pants hanging off his tail. Now, I'm not knocking these people, but I'm just saying, this is my opinion. I feel like if we started with us and stop waiting on other people and asking for help from other people, just concentrate on the smallest thing, and that's like patrolling you. I remember when there was a time when you would get arrested or whatever, and they would take your belts from you, and then guys would leave the jail with their pants hanging down because they didn't have a belt. And so that was really where I believe this stuff came from. But nowadays, it's more like a fashion statement.
Right.
But I mean, I don't knock people for sagging their pants or whatever, because I wear mine sag sometimes too. But at the same time, I believe it's about your character. I mean, if I got my pants sagging and then an officer of the law or someone pulls me up and I can speak out of my mouth with respect and dignity, I think that's going to matter. He's not going to look at me the same or opposed if I came out of my mouth with, whatever, some negative crap or some, ebonics or whatever.
I think that's true, but I also think, of course, or in any situation, it's always exceptions to the rule, and it's always people who. It's been people who've been killed who've been completely minding their business,
course.
who haven't got a chance
That's
to
true.
even say a word.
Whatever. That's
they were
true.
just targeted
Plain and simple.
off jump.
That is
so
true.
I think like that's where it kind of gets complicated, because in Baltimore, I believe we are definitely a city of people who, in order to get respect, you gotta give it.
Yes.
And like if you watch on Instagram, if you watch people on live, if you watch, just people and how people interact in general. If you come at them crazy, they're gonna come at you crazy. Or if they feel like, a lot of people have the stereotype as soon as they get, just like we believe police profile us, a lot of people believe a lot of people profile police.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So like it's people in the mindset that as soon as I get pulled over, if I was wrong or not, it may be minor, but I just think he pulled me over because I'm black.
And that's wrong. I mean, like right now, I had a light out on my rear view. I knew about it. I'm fixing it.
Mm-hmm.
I could take it to the dealer and get it fixed, but I don't want to spend that money.
Right.
So I decided I'll fix it myself.
Right.
Okay. In the meantime, the light's out. If I were to get pulled over, when the officer comes to me, I'm gonna say, yes, I knew the light was out. I have receipt, I have the light, all the stuff that I have. Now, unless he's a complete crazy person or whatever, I'm sure he's gonna give me a break and let me go and fix it. But there's always exceptions to every rule. But I just believe, it's about us conducting ourselves properly. See, because they have the wrong scenario and image of us. People always showing us wrong on TV. They show us as gangsters all the time. Like, we don't, even Terrence Howard, before he was Lucius Lyons, the big time CEO president, he was what's his name? He was Hustle and Flow. What's his name on Hustle and Flow?
I can't think. I know what you mean.
CJ, KJ, or whatever his name. But that's still, you see what I'm saying? That's a stereotype of a black man. And so we have to understand, they can look at us any way they want to. It's about us. It's about how we conduct ourselves. Because I can put on the flyest hip-hop gear around. But when you talk to me, you see that I'm not that. So it's like, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. Because I am from the hip-hop generation myself. But I'm just saying, I think that people have, like, especially some people have a way of looking at that, like it's wrong, when it's not necessarily wrong, it's just presented wrong. And I think we all play a role in that. Even artists do. Like, for instance, in a rap game, the reason they perceive it so bad is because the way they give it to the people. It's you know what it is. It's all of those words. You know what I want to say?
Yeah.
It's all of that. And so these people that are looking from the whatever you want to, far left, far right, whatever, they look at that, see, that's vulgar, that's wrong, that's this, that's that. But the same thing happens when it's Kiss, sticking their tongue out, what do you think that means? He's sticking his long tongue out, so it just has to be about you and us, and you can't worry about these people anymore. They're the way they are. I don't see any changing in some people. Some people are not going to change, but that doesn't mean that you can't try to change your world and your part of the world. I think every one of us has a role to play, but I just don't think everyone wants to, actually stand in the trenches and do the work.
Just to kind of wrap that part up, I just kind of think, I agree, like, we do have to start with change ourselves, but as far as, like, the culture and what it is and the negative aspects that are obviously present in the culture, in that same breath, the same people, a lot of the people that judge the culture imitate the culture. And then that's a whole nother conversation that could go on forever. But I just wanted to say, like, I think more so than, like, the culture is the culture. And I like black culture, whether it be through hip-hop, rap, African descent, whatever it stems from. I think it's amazing. And I think the negatives, like, we have fun. That's one thing I can say on the
Right,
black culture.
right.
Like, we definitely have fun. I think we
Well,
just
life should be about fun.
yeah,
I mean,
we just have to expand
the way we see things.
beyond just the fun, you know, in order so we can have both.
Oh yeah.
So we can be seen beyond that.
Because in a way, we do have too much fun.
Yeah.
I mean, like, there's too many of us that we want to be successful, but we don't want to put the work in.
Mm-hmm.
We want all these great things, but we won't go and speak to our congressman.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we want change in our communities, but we won't take a broom and sweep up in front of our fronts. I mean, you know what I mean? It's just, it's just ridiculous.
Starting with the little
If
things,
you just start with yourself.
Okay, makes sense. To kind of lighten the mood a little bit, you sing R&B, so like it's really like romantic and things like that. So like, I'm gonna put you in the hot seat. It's a little game called the hot seat.
Uh-oh.
Now, usually I compare two different things, and you have to choose one. But I'm gonna switch it up for you. So this time, I want you to run me down 5 tips. 5 tips for bagging the lady you want. Give it to the fellas these days. In 2018, 5 tips you would recommend to this generation of men.
5 tips.
Yes.
Well, first, I would say, now you said chasing down?
No, not chasing down, like, for like...
For just picking up a chick?
Yeah, for getting the lady you want.
I think number 1, I would say, be well groomed. Smell good. Let the lady choose where she like to go.
Mm-hmm.
And don't be cheap, for sure. You know, be willing to spend a few dollars, you know, for your meal.
How much is a few in 2018?
In 2018, at least 2 bills, right? You know what I mean? At least $200. I mean, that's $100 a plate. That's pretty good. Plus, you're gonna drink a couple drinks, so I figure 200 is decent.
Oh, I gotta raise the standard.
He
said 200.
Yeah.
I gotta raise the standard.
I mean, because like me, I like lobster, I like crab meat. So you're not gonna get that for under 40 or 50.
Right.
You know, so and then if you like a
not
nice,
the good stuff.
Right. And if you like a nice margarita, that's gonna be like the ones I like. They top shelf. So it's about 12, 13. So you're talking about maybe what? Just for me alone, that's maybe 60, 70 right there. So you gotta have at least the same thing or more.
Yeah.
So and then the fifth and the last thing I would say, be polite, be a real gentleman. You know, make sure that she enjoys herself with you. So maybe you'd be lucky enough to have another date. You know, so those would be my 5.
Okay. And do you have any pickup lines you would suggest or how
Pickup
to
lines.
approach?
Pickup lines? No, I don't. I don't have any pickup lines. I'm just a natural kind of guy. I like to be real and just let it flow. Whatever's gonna happen, you know, I like to let it just flow. I don't want to be computerized, programmed. It might not flow right.
All right. Well, you got it here first, and next we're gonna hear a little sample from Aaron.
All right. Remember back in the day, yeah, when it was all good. Black folks all love one another. It was our hood. They've always tried to tear us down and keep us apart, yeah. But we've always cared for one another. It was in our heart. Show some love. Show them some love. Show some love in our neighborhoods. Show some love. Show them some love. Show some love.